Hi, this is Bob Weir again with the Cross Timbers Gazette, and my guest today is Micah Beebe, a candidate for Congress in the 26th Congressional District, which includes Denton County and parts of Tarrant County. Mr. Beebe will be on the ballot in the Republican primary on March 1st. Thank you for being here, Mr. Beebe.
Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
Dr. Michael Burgess has held that seat since 2003, and there is another candidate in the race also. His name is Joel Kraus. Let me begin, Mr. Beebe, by asking you to tell voters something about your background, such as your occupation, education, family, so forth.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and my family was, we weren't the most well off. My dad was a cab driver. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. We were homeschooled. Growing up in Kansas City, it wasn't really the best school district, but got a good education. Grew up in a Christian home. My mom always had us in church and had a very conservative upbringing, good Christian values. And later I went on to attend college at Southwest Baptist University. It's a pretty small school in Bolivar, Missouri. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology. And I've done some graduate level work in counseling. But my wife and I came to Texas, and she grew up down in the Woodlands, and so she's very familiar with Texas. But I'm a local realtor in town, and really enjoy it, and yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
All right, well, how about, have you ever run for elective office before?
No, sir, I haven't. I haven't really sought political office or anything like that. This has been something that I've been thinking about for a while now, and really prayerfully considering, because I know when you run for office, it's not something that you just like, well, I'm just going to go do that. It's something that you really need to take seriously, and really prayed a lot about it, and felt like this was the direction that the Lord was leading me. So.
How about other capacities in politics? Have you been active in politics in a local area anywhere?
No, I haven't really been really active with the party or anything like that. Of course, I've been a politician all but a few months now, and I've been very.
How do you like it so far?
Very active. Well, it's good. I mean, it's a great experience, and it's really neat to meet so many people and interact with a lot of folks, because well, in real estate, I mean, it's a people business, and everything is about people. It's about relationships. And so jumping into politics, it's really neat to see people and their passions about the issues and everything. And so, of course, since I started the campaign, I've been going to a lot of meetings, meeting a lot of folks. I've been knocking on doors. So it's been a great time, and meeting a lot of wonderful folks. So, yeah.
Are you active in charitable or other community type events?
Sure. In the past, I've been very active. In my college years, I was very active with mission trips, and took a couple of trips to Mexico working on construction projects and building schools, and I've done a couple of trips down to Brazil working in a children's home with abused and neglected children, and that was actually a really life-changing type of trip for me, and something that really spoke to me, and something that I've been passionate about doing is, in the future, I would like to start a children's home here to help the kids in this area, because I know that there are a lot of needs for children in this area. There's a lot of abused and neglected children, and just a lot of children in need. And so that is a project that is kind of years in the making, but that's kind of my experience. So.
All right, how about just a straight question, like, why do you want to be a congressman?
Sure. Well, because I see what's going on in our country, and we are headed down the wrong path, and things don't seem to be getting better. I mean, we're changing from a Democratic controlled Congress to a Republican controlled, and things don't seem to be changing even still. Republicans have a majority, and we don't seem to be using that. And so I want to be a congressman because I think I can contribute. I think I can help us win again. I can help the party win again. I can take my skills as a realtor in negotiation and working for my clients. I can use that in Washington and work for the people of our district and help move us forward.
All right, so as a congressman, then, if you were a congressman, what would you consider the most important issues facing the country?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of really important issues facing the country, but I mean, if I had to narrow it down, I would say a big one right now is immigration. And it's kind of multifaceted. And what I mean by that is we have huge immigration issues with how many illegal immigrants we have in the country right now, people who are breaking our laws. We have border security issues. We need to build a wall. We need to secure our borders before we do anything. And coupled with that, we've also have the Syrian refugee issue, and that's kind of the main issue. But also another big issue would be our debt and our spending. That's another really big one because, we're setting things up for future generations and it's not looking good for them. And so we're going to need to make some major changes here if we are going to have and pass down a positive future for our children. So there's a lot of things that need to change.
And you feel as a congressman, one of 435, you can make a difference?
I can, and I believe that because, once again, as a realtor, I work with people that I have to get things done. I have to represent my people in order to get the best positive outcome for them. So I know how to work with people. Plus my background in psychology, I understand people. And so it's about being able to work with those folks, getting them on the same page, and so you can get those things done.
Well, it's no easy task to take on a veteran congressman, so I have to ask you, how do you plan to campaign? Will you be engaging in debates? Will you have fundraisers, go door to door and mail outs and stuff like that?
Sure. Well, a congressional campaign is not an easy task. There's a lot involved with it, and so there's really a multi-pronged approach. Everything I can do, I'm going to do. For example, I'm trying to do fundraising. Obviously, money is a very big part of having a successful campaign, getting volunteers. But some of the things that I've been doing is I'm going door to door because statistics show by far that face-to-face interaction is the best way to get votes. And so I know that full well, and so that's something that I'm striving to do is getting in front of the voters, going to as many events as I possibly can, participating in candidate forums where I can face off against the other candidates in the race and let people know where I stand on the issues. So it's really anything that I can do, and also having a very strong online presence. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Vimeo, YouTube. I have a lot of videos out there that show where I stand on various issues. So all of these are very important to get that name recognition.
Well, social media is very important, and it's a less expensive way also to campaign.
Yeah, it's not like running a campaign 10 years ago. I mean, it's very, very different, and fortunate for me, it's also free.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that you'd like the voters to know about you?
Yeah, there is. Just in wrapping up, that I want voters to know that I'm the guy that's going to go to Washington that's really going to fight for them, because I think that's something that we really need, is someone who will get in there and really fight for conservative issues. And when you vote for me, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a fighter.
Well, I thank you for being here, Mr. Beebe, and I wish you great luck in the campaign.
Well, thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching.